Welcome to another edition of Thunder and Lightning. I'm your host, Dan, and we are the New York sports show about nothing. Nick, we had a fun weekend, a lot better than what it was last week in the NFL playoffs. We just watched a classic choke job by the Baltimore Ravens as they go down to the Buffalo Bills, where they go to play the Kansas City Chiefs next week for the AFC Championship game. Nick, we had a lot of fun this weekend. A lot of good games.
Yeah, it was definitely better than Wild Card weekend.
For sure. Let's get to it quickly because it's just how our season has gone as New York Football Giant fans. Just the blows keep on coming. The Washington Commanders are facing off the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship game next week at 3 o'clock or 3:30. I don't remember the time, but it's around 3 o'clock. They got the early game. And all right, we kind of expected the Eagles were going to be in that situation. They were the number 2 seed. Would they be going to Detroit or somehow Detroit fumbles and loses to Washington? They're going to be in the NFC Championship game. But the Commanders is a completely different feel-good underdog story. I hate talking all nice and positive about an NFC East divisional opponent, but you got to feel good for the Washington Commanders with Jaden, who is a machine, which we all knew. Thanks for the culture wins 2 years ago. But it's just Washington's a feel-good story with the new ownership and everything else like that. So obviously, I'm rooting for Washington 10 out of 10 times. I know you are as well.
Yeah, I text this to you. It's so hard to watch this, right? It's like there's 2 NFC East teams in the championship game. And it's like, why? Like, why have we not been able to get it together yet?
Well, it's faith on how the season has gone. Of course, too. At least one member of the NFC East is going to the Super Bowl on Sunday, and that's how awful the season has been.
Yeah,
it's just it makes sense.
In the wound at this point, and we say it every week. We feel like when we watch. Listen, at the end of the day, like Wild Card weekend sucked, right? But I feel like at the end of the day, the top teams remain are the ones that are supposed to be there, right? It does kind of work out. Once in a while, you get like the Giants scenario, that 9-win team, they're not supposed to be there, right? But the Commanders have had a good team all season. I think they kind of got overshadowed by all the hype in Philly and by all the drama in Dallas and all the drama in New York. But you said it to me not that long ago. You feel like you're watching a different sport. And yesterday I'm watching the Commanders and I just tweeted out, like, I want a quarterback so bad. Like the right quarterback. And somebody asked me, well, Nikki, what is the right quarterback? To me, the right quarterback, like obviously one, we know there has to be buy-in from the front office, the coaching staff, like that has to be their guy, right? But to me, it's like, can you thrive in today's NFL game, right? Like, can you make everybody around you? Can you elevate their play? Can you make the guys around you better? Can you make it happen? Like, you don't need a perfect scenario. Like, and then people are like, well, we have to fix the offensive line. I don't want to hear about the offensive line anymore, Danny.
And we knew that, yeah.
Like, I want to see a quarterback for the Giants. It's like, come on, like, can you play in today's NFL game? And I feel like they just haven't had it. And I mean, I would love to see that. Like, you look at Lamar Jackson, today wasn't the Ravens' greatest game, but like, he makes shit happen,
right? Right.
And it just doesn't happen for the Giants. I don't know. Like, why is it so wrong for me to keep saying I want a quarterback?
It's not wrong. It's just people want to nitpick at your particular take and other people's particular take for having that take. The the one thing that like Jaden Daniels that I'm just like in awe of and like just gaga, and I wish we fucking had him. Was you're in Detroit. Detroit is starving for a championship. Like legit, like
Yeah.
they will kill family members for a championship.
They'll break your
They'll
kneecaps and
like
eat
they'll
you.
break their kneecaps. They're in a dome. The crowd is going ballistic, and you
Right.
can see other quarterbacks just like shitting their pants. They're like, "Holy shit, this moment is way too big."
Right.
And Jaden Daniels is like, "All right, cool. This is all right."
He
Well,
embraces the big moment.
elite cool factor. He has that serial killer. Holy crap! All right, cool. This is awesome moment of
How do
like.
you what do you hold on? How do you know what serial killers are like?
Well, when you watch documentaries, they're like very.
Oh, you're
cool.
one of them. Oh,
I'm not, but
you're a true,
I've dabbled in them, but I'm not one of those like religiously watching them.
you
But
dabble in the true crime documentaries?
every now and then, I'm not prejudiced towards it, but like you can tell, like they're methodical and.
I wouldn't have pegged you for a
But I'm not
true
really.
crime
Not
documentary.
really.
Then again, I thought you were a middle brownie guy, and turns out you're an edge guy. So what do
I
I
don't
know?
even remember. Yeah, but all jokes aside, like he's that cerebral guy, and it's just all right, cool. He has that Manning in him. He has that Brady in him.
Yeah,
He has that Brady in him. He has the Joe Burrow in him. Very Joe Burrow. And it's like, all right. So and so's not open. Okay, my running back's open. Okay, so and so's not open. That guy's not open. All right, Hurts is open. I'm gonna pick apart this defense, and they got themselves a real one right now. And in conversations with a lot of friends, they're like he might be the number one quarterback in the NFC, the whole entire NFC. And that's crazy to even think about for a rookie. But hey, the conversation's there. They are 60 minutes away from a Super Bowl. So you're not crazy
I want
if
that
you think
so badly for their fan base. You know, I mean, I know they're a rival, obviously,
right.
But you know, I listen. Some of our very good friends are Commanders fans, and you know, they're a very nice fan base to me. The Cowboys fan base is they recruit me, but the Commanders fan base actively recruits me. The Eagles fan base is just so mean to me. Like I will never ever root for that team. So yeah, I would love to. I can't imagine how happy the Commanders fan base would be, but doesn't that go to show? I tried to explain this yesterday, and of course, I just get like shit for everything I say. But like getting the right quarterback for your team, like new ownership, new general manager, new quarterback, like everything new. And there's something to be said about putting the right pieces in place. And every time I try to explain this, I get told that I don't understand football and you don't understand the fundamentals. You have to win in the trenches. Like, I don't want to hear it anymore.
No, I'm with you because it's just like, yes, it's a whole brand new blood transfusion of a whole entire franchise that during our fandom for the last 25 years of us religiously watching football, what do they win? 2 or 3 playoff games?
How can that be? I was just 25 in September, so I think your math is wrong.
Well, for me, becoming a diehard fan, it's been 25, 26 years of watching it religiously, and they didn't win a playoff game since 2005. I hate to date myself. I'm sorry because you're a little bit older. I was in high school.
Excuse me? I just turned 25 in September.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
25.
know what you're
25,
talking about.
Silly me. 25 in September. So your whole fandom, Washington, has never won a playoff game. But all things aside, like, they had Todd Collins play a playoff game. All right?
True.
They had Tyler Heineke when they didn't even deserve to make the playoffs. Neither did the Giants that year. That wasn't a Giant dig. That was a whole NFC East dig. Tyler Heineke covered against the Tampa Bay Bucks and Tom Brady that one random playoff game. And like all those other scenarios, and just they deserve it. And I think because we are Knick fans and me being a Met fan, I I get it. Like I get it. I get our ownership sucks. Granted, he's the worst above Dolan. We'll get into that another day. But
yeah.
but like we're like right there being Knicks fans for the last decade, and obviously
Yeah.
us never seeing a championship. Like we get it. So all the Commander fans from us, these two Giant fans, go Commanders, knock them dead. Because honestly, we fucked up, Nikki. We fucked up, and we just let the best player of our franchise, the last, I guess you want to compete with Odell, the last 7 years. Granted, he wasn't going to do what he did for them, what he were going to do with us. I know, no shit, Sherlock. But we let him off the hook. I said it was a good idea, thinking like, oh, whatever, a lot of money. But looking at the cap situation of where we paid different guys and how badly this season has turned out, we fucked up. And it's amazing
how do you think John Mara's sleeping? How do you think he's
not
sleeping?
Good. Not good. I think he's gonna have some sleep cues, and like it's just like, if you weren't gonna resign him, why didn't you trade him at the deadline? And then again in Hard Knocks again, it just replays in my fucking mind.
Oh, I know. Every time I see Saquon play,
and
Hard Knocks is just replaying in my mind. And Joe Shane looking at John Mara, and he's like, "We'll be all right."
Like the art of the deal, I get it. You got to like cut your losses at some point and everything else like that. But you're like, all right, we have to try one more time be like, just one more time. Granted, you didn't know it was the Eagles. You didn't know I forget what other teams were in that situation. The Bears, probably, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And it's just like, nope. Just walk to our biggest rival, that team that will love to just shove it in our faces at any moment of anything. And it's just, we haven't beaten them in like almost a decade. We maybe once or twice, but that was because of like scenarios of them being terrible.
I think the one was because of Saquon. So I mean, it was a few years ago, right?
Right. So
because I went to that game. So I mean, I remember because I was with my nephew who's an Eagles fan, and he thought they had it in the bag, and I did too. And I was like, holy shit, we won! Like, yeah, man, I mean. That is just,
and I hate it's every week we have to talk about, man, we fucked up with Saquon. I guess hopefully next year we don't have that, but we will. But it's just,
I think it's going to hang around this franchise for a while.
As long as he's an Eagle, I guess. And we knew this, and that was the worst part. And we're like, it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. He's gonna be what we all hoped he was gonna be. It's gonna suck. Brace yourself. But we're in it now, and it's just like, it sucks. It's just like, oh, man. It's just every week. And it's like him close to 200 yards, 2 long-ass touchdowns. Just the Saquon Barkley we all knew and loved and hoped the Giants would have, even though we may have not agreed on the draft pick many moons ago. But
well, I think, we should have known when the year started off like this last season. I think that was our cue that this was not going to be a great 2024 season for the Giants. And it's painful. It sucks to watch, but I think he's truly happy. I just think
you can just tell how happy he is.
When you're happy where you work, and that's where you thrive, and you do your best work, and you feel great.
Who wouldn't be happy? Who wouldn't be happy?
You want to be happy. I don't care how many times we say it. I don't think he was happy here, and I don't think he wanted to be here.
No, I don't think so. I think it ran his course. But I also kind of disagree with you, because he was that veteran leader in the locker room that we clearly missed this year. So
they clearly missed him, and you and I, I don't think we disagree on that. I just think they could have. I think you and I talked about this, where we both said that like leadership is it's like an undervalued thing, right?
Oh,
like
sure.
Sometimes you're going to have to pay for, you got to pay for that great leader in the locker room. And he was sorely missed. So like having leadership, I always say to people when I'm consulting, right? Just because you're an owner doesn't mean you're a leader. right? Those are two different
100%.
types of things. So it's like sometimes, was it worth the extra money to have that leadership presence in the locker room? Well, clearly the Giants needed it this season, but I still don't think he was happy in New York.
Yeah. I think once he got the franchise tag and it was like, oh,
yeah, it was a wrap, and they paid Jones, and he felt some type of way. And I just listen. He's one of those, like, of course we're Giants fans, but we're also in this era of like you kind of follow players too. Like I will just be a fan of Saquon, like it just sucks that
I'll admit it. I will always bet on Saquon. I've done it. I've won a lot of money because of it this year, but
like you're just gonna root for that guy. You know what I mean? Like you're just gonna root for him. But I do think, to your point, like I don't know that teams always consider leadership as like one of
they think, they'll find another guy to replace it.
Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't find that guy the next year or the year after.
And I get the fans that are gonna say, "Oh, what are we gonna win? 3 more extra games with Saquon on the team?" Yeah, I know. I get that point of view, but you gotta feel some sort of way, and you can't be a robot watching Saquon Barkley just prance around in the snow for 2 over 50-yard touchdowns and being happy while we're sitting at home just reminiscing a 3-win season. You can't not be a robot for 5 minutes and not tell me that it's just bam. It's just like bummer, man. What's good? Almighty Finesse, what's going on? Yeah, man.
We were hoping he was gonna have the game.
We were gonna get into the logistics of everything else as long as we were gonna talk about the G-Men. Yeah, man. It was we're all just like, oh fuck, here we go again. And I'm like, all right, we got Stafford. Let's go. Puka made that amazing catch, and it's just like just time ran short, and it's just the Eagles' year. Does the little engine that could Washington Commanders pull it out on Sunday?
I feel like
we know Hurts is trash. They're not even good. Well, yeah, for the most part, they're not even good. But
I feel like the Commanders. I feel like it might be the Commanders' year because they're not supposed to be there. All right, before we move on to tonight's games, I want to ask you one more thing. I am not surprised that teams are wanting to interview Brandon Brown. I said this to you last year. I think it's just a matter of time before the Giants lose him. How do you feel about that?
Obviously I'm going to be bummed about it and hurt about it because he's one of the guys that were in the front office that you can tell has it. In the shittier situation of the last couple of years, he has it. You can tell he has it. He's Joe Shane, one of Joe Shane's right-hand people, and you saw him in Hard Knocks and everything. For us, we're not dumb fans, but we're not in the know of like every little X and O situation. So for the fans like you and me, he seems to have it. And if he does get picked up by the Raiders, we get 2 draft picks. Don't hate that.
No, I don't hate that at all. Been in some of his press conferences, and
you've always been impressed.
So. I've always been impressed, and you know where he really like gets happy. When you can tell when somebody's talking about something they love to talk about, he's so happy when he's talking about scouting, like, and, finding talent. And so, I'm going to be bummed. Yeah, I'm going to be bummed if he leaves. I said that to you last year because we thought last year might be the year, but.
And the other thing I want to mention with the Giants things of like Brandon Brown is that it's just one of those things. It's just like I wouldn't have hated, and this is not because of Rooney Rule. If we were to fire Joe Shane, I would have not hated him being in the running for the GM job. Like I would have legitimately thought of a real candidate of him being the next GM. And that's how the Giants work. So I could see him being the next Giants GM if something goes awry and he has awesome interviews with the Giants if he's still here. I
can't take another season of something going awry. Like, I know we said last week we're going to resign ourselves to a crap 2025, but like, my God. I just might have to.
Us both, man. Us both. You could go back to the first 5-10 minutes, and that's all we were talking about, and just unfortunately glowing about Jaden Daniels. So yeah.
Oh
We
my
blew the
God.
pooch on that one.
Yeah, we
Or
really
screwed the pooch,
did.
whatever.
All we can do is hope that they make the right decision this time.
Mm-hmm.
And, the rumors circulating around with the whole trade back and get JJ McCarthy and
oh yeah. I mean, if we didn't take him last year at 6 when he was the guy to get at number 6, you mean to tell me that the same organization would have been okay giving up actual equity and draft picks to get a guy coming off of knee surgery? I don't buy it.
Well, I had said that. I said,
Yeah,
well,
Penix, but yeah, one of those 3 guys that flourished at the end of this year, other than McCarthy, obviously because he's hurt. But yeah, one of those 3 guys. But going back to go try to trade for that one player that you were just not high on because the other 2 quarterbacks are lower in people's minds, seems like a crazy idea to do, and you should probably get fired. Do it.
well, I mean, I said this, and I'm sure you can figure out what everybody's response was to me because I said, "Why would you take that? You passed on this guy." We watched the Giants pass on JJ McCarthy for Malik Neighbors, which we were happy about Malik Neighbors, and everybody was like, "Well, Nikki, you don't understand draft value because we got Malik Neighbors out of him, and now we could go get JJ McCarthy. We don't have to give up a ton, and we don't."
So you think. So you think you mean to tell me just because we passed on them, the Vikings were obviously high enough on them to draft him in the first round, so they still think he's a first round value, and then obviously all that situation, I get it. Like, I don't know. Yeah, no, Penix was going to be a good option as well. Like, we're not saying we want Penix or McCarthy over each other right now. We just find it funny that people are complaining and like having that fake rumor that we're in because Bravada said we have the highest odds to trade for him. So,
well, I mean, that's all his fan base does.
you think, Mighty Finesse, again, you think Jaden Daniels would have the same success with us as he did with the Commanders? I think he would have the original success that we thought the Commanders were going to have. They were going to fuck around in a couple of games, maybe be 6-10, 6-11, whatever the numbers are now, or maybe be a little higher right now. But I think the situation right there with, like how we said, with the whole blood transfusion and how much of an animal he is, we wouldn't have been in this spot, but we would have been in a better, like, oh, okay, next year we got something other than, all right, what are we going to do? Like, in that neutral gear. So I don't think he would have been what he is. He probably could have been as close to what he is now, but with just what the original expectation would have been with Jaden Daniels, if you go back earlier in the season, how most of the people were like, he's going to be good. We know he's going to be good, but let's see how he handles the NFL game. And sure enough, shit, we saw what happened.
I think he's got enough talent and would have had enough talent to overcome what the Giants couldn't provide for him,
Right. So,
okay, so next week's matchups are set, right?
Yep.
We've got Kansas City, which I'm so fucking sick and tired of them, and the Bills, and then we have, who would have thought, NFC East for the championship, and the Eagles and the Commanders.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun day. Thankfully, the NFC East Championship is the first game, so we could flush that out of our minds and be like, all right,
and just
come when we come back on next week around the same time. It's just like, all right, awesome. Congratulations to the Buffalo Bills. Or here we go again. It's the Eagles and Chiefs again from the matchup.
None of us want to see the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I think we can all agree on that. None of us want to see this at all. You know, I'm firmly just going to root for the Commanders at this point. And, you know, that's it. I can't root for the Eagles. I can root for Saquon. I think you can like a player, but I just can't root for like the Eagles to be in the Super Bowl and then win the Super Bowl.
Jamar Gibbs did go off, so if you want to do Saquon prop bets again, it's a good game to do so.
No, I'm just going to go all Commanders at this point. So I know it's too early. We just kind of like the games just got set. What are your initial thoughts on next week's matchups?
All right. Well, I think it's the third time. I think they split this year between the Commanders and Eagles. I didn't look it up before the game coming on, but Commanders have that we're the underdogs. We've won in 2 nice road games back to back, and we have house money. Let's go into Philly. Let's ruin their season. They're supposed to be here. Let's just let it fly. And if we come out on top at the end, we're on top and we're going to the Super Bowl and we're going to shock the world more. We've seen that scenario twice, Nikki.
We're very familiar with that. That's why we're rooting for them. Those teams that like they got their chip on the shoulder, right? And they're like, "Oh, we're not supposed to be here. Let's show you why we are supposed to be here."
Last night's Commanders game was the 2011 version of the Green Bay game. No one thought Green Bay was the Giants weren't gonna beat Green Bay. Come on, you can't beat Green Bay. Can't beat Green Bay. Green Bay shot themselves in the foot by dropping a lot of passes. The Giants made the right plays and exclamation point plays. That's what the Commanders did last night. So, house money, babe. That's the best way to feel it. And as for the AFC, this is a rivalry that we've known for the last 6, 7, 8 years. This is the marquee non-divisional rivalry.
Yeah.
We've had that classic where the Bills blew the game in 16 seconds and then lost in overtime. And Buffalo has taken care of them the last couple of times they've played in the regular season. I love Josh Allen. He is my favorite non-Giant. So I would love to see Josh Allen.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he is my favorite non-Giant.
So, right. So you're rooting for the Bills. Yeah, I'm definitely would love to see the Bills there.
And I think the Bills have enough this year to do it. Kansas City's defense is beyond tough. The referees are tough. There you go.
Yeah, you're also playing the refs, so let's not discount.
Yeah, that. They're playing 12 guys. So honestly, I think they've been in this situation enough. Let's see the spreads. I want to see the spreads, actually.
You know, I saw a stat today that said Taylor Swift has increased the Chiefs fan base by 30%.
I believe it.
Right?
I believe it.
Let's get an early look at some of these.
All right, so
lines.
The AFC game is what you expect. It is Kansas City -1.5, and the money line is Kansas City -120. Buffalo is +102. So it is as close as possible. It's basically a pick 'em.
Yep.
All right. The respect is there for Washington. Last week they were +9.5 point underdogs last week to the Lions. They're still a touchdown. They're still a 6-point underdog. They are +5.5 for -106. But their money line is +235, where the Eagles is -290. So the Eagles are still biggish under favorites, but more respect this week.
More
I remember texting Rio early in the week. Wow, 9.5-point underdogs. I get it, but I don't get it. That's very disrespectful. And I didn't take them. I
told you to take them. No, I was rolling with the Commanders, and it's funny because normally I'll just keep rolling with Detroit because they always cover, but it was just like, nope. I think it's the Commanders. You know, they're going to cover and win. And I don't know. I think they can do it next week. I really do. Almighty saying Hurts doesn't look 100%. Kind of agree with that. Like, I feel like the Eagles can be very vulnerable, and I think
Definitely.
the Commanders have enough to capitalize on that. So if they make a mistake, the Commanders will capitalize on whatever mistake the Eagles are going to make.
And Dan Quinn has been in this division for quite some time, so he has plenty of tape on the Eagles. Granted, they have plenty of tape on Washington. Obviously, that matchup that diffuses each other out. It's just going to be man-on-man football. Whoever has the ball last type of play, whoever is more disciplined. Obviously, throw all the cliches out of smart, tough, and dependable football that the New York Football Giants are supposed to have, but they do not have. Practice what you preach. Practice what you preach, Giants.
Do you miss the postseason stress? It's like, it kind of sucks because it's like, from this point on, there's only just going to be one happy team, right? Like, you think about it. I mean, but would you rather have the postseason stress or?
Yeah,
I know. Yeah,
give me
I know.
It. I'm not joking with you. I'm not joking with you. When I texted you, I'd be dead in a ditch somewhere if I saw a Giant do what Mark Andrews did on that.
Oh my God, Mark Andrews!
I would have broke my TV. I would have not talked to literally anybody. I would have been in the dark. Just leave me alone until tomorrow morning. And
you would have been a disaster. I probably wouldn't even talk to you for like a week because I think you'd need a 5150 psych hold. Yeah.
Maybe 24 hours. You'd be like, all right, I am not talking to you. Bye.
Definitely wouldn't talk to you the next day. Definitely wouldn't do a show with you. I think I'd leave you alone for a few days because,
we would have had to do that show, but man, you hated me in a 3-win season. That's worse than a 3-win season.
You hated me in training camp, so.
All right. So, Nick, it's a short show tonight. I know you got work
tonight.
You got work tomorrow. Martin Luther King Day, so I do.
Are you working tomorrow? You've been off for like.
Yeah, well, I had.
How many
I was
days?
a little sick. I was sick those last 2 days, so 2, 4, 5-day sick/vacation. So.
Plus, Plus, you took time for like the holidays too, right?
Oh yeah, I took a week off during the holidays, during the Christmas week. So yeah.
Okay, you guys see that state of New York? I just want you all to see what these state workers, are doing, working really hard. No, you do work hard. Hey, I encouraged you to take off Friday. I was like, well, why would you go to work for one day? And you were like,
I woke up, I walked the dog, and I go, nah, one more day. They know how it is.
Yeah, but you've been there for a really long time.
It's going to be 11 years in November. But yeah,
I assume funny. You have a ton of time you can take.
I do, and then the best is my boss said I had what you had during Christmas, so I know how it is. So I was like, all right, I could play this. Well, I had it, but I mean, I could be like, all right, yeah.
So, I mean, have you eaten much this week, or is like your appetite back, or no? Not really?
My appetite is fully back, but yeah, it was a couple of days.
Well, what was the first thing you ate when you were finally feeling a little bit better?
Other than crackers and toast with butter, I guess it would be an egg. I had like egg and cheese with like cold cut turkey, cooked up a little bit.
I'm sorry. What do you do with the turkey and the egg?
It's a egg and cheese, right? And you cook the turkey a little bit on the frying pan instead of having like ham or bacon on it. You have like cold cut turkey instead, and it's the healthier alternative. Come on. You're playing with me right now. And
no, I'm not. I'm actually not. I've never in my life heard of cooking like. You mean like deli meat turkey, right? Like you go to like.
What? Yeah, you sizzle it up like with ham. You do the same thing with ham, and you cook it up a little bit. Oh my god!
Okay,
that's why I hate you.
Do you do what? It goes on a sandwich, or you just?
You can have it on a sandwich, or you could have it like under the egg, like an omelet. and then you cut it up like you would eat like a normal thing. Like, I don't know why you're being weird.
I'm not being weird. I never heard of this before. So, like,
you've never had egg and cheese on like you never saw anybody with egg and cheese, like the slices, and just hear it crisp up a little bit with like.
No, I obviously know what egg and cheese is, but I
but I'm saying like ham, egg, and cheese. Like, you see how do you think they cut the cold cut version of the ham?
I don't know. Like, I don't
But
eat
no
ham. When I make eggs,
them.
I just scramble the eggs and then I throw a little spinach in it. To
like an omelet. Like,
okay, so did you make it like an omelet, or you made scrambled eggs with like deli turkey in it?
Well, I made the I made the egg and cheese like an omelet. I'm like, you know what? Let me throw some turkey on it. Threw the turkey on the stove, made it crisp up a little bit, and then threw it on top of the egg and cheese and had it on toast.
Yeah, I don't think I would eat that. What kind of cheese?
This particular case, I had Land O'Lakes American cheese.
White or yellow?
This particular week was yellow.
Ew. I knew you were gonna say it. I knew you were gonna say yellow.
No, I don't want to hear it from you. You actually found a way to complain about cold cut turkey to be in a pan, fry it up a little bit for it to get some sort of heat in it, and you're like, why would anybody do that? Thanks.
I'd never heard of that. You just threw me for a loop when you were like,
have made the simplest dish as if I am a 5-star chef in France in Michelin star place, and like I made escargot turned into like the most fanciest dish of all time.
No, I just never heard. I obviously know what like bacon, egg, and cheese is. I never heard of anybody like taking like turkey deli meat and like putting it in a pan with egg and cheese.
It's a nice, healthier alternative. So way to go, me. All right.
And excuse me, I've been learning cooking recipes on Red Note. I've learned Mandarin. I've learned
okay. So
Chinese food.
Give me one sentence in Mandarin.
No, I'm not ready yet. I'm not even close to ready.
Give me one word. Give me one word.
No, I'm not ready yet. I will, because I'm.
All right, good. Because I don't feel like getting canceled tonight because you butchered.
Yeah, God knows I'm gonna say it wrong. No, I'm working on a few sentences, and I am gonna do a video. I'm not quite there yet. It's like it's hard. It's definitely hard to learn a new language. But before we get into Red Note, so what was like your first like good meal back? So, or what did you have for dinner today? What did you do today?
Today was I had a turkey burger with same American cheese.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was slim pickings today, but
on a bun.
Yeah, on a regular hamburger bun. Yeah, with special sauce.
Ew. What is that?
I've told you this before. It's like mayonnaise, ketchup.
Oh, literally,
like basically sauce. Russian. It's basically Russian dressing.
Oh, God, it's disgusting. Wait, so you made special sauce, or you like have a bottle of it somewhere?
My mom made it. It takes literally 2 seconds.
Okay, so
what did you have for dinner tonight?
Well, I had a salad for lunch, and I was learning Mandarin, and then TikTok came back, so I had a salad, and then for dinner, do you have a Target by you?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if you've ever gone in their like food section and their prepared food section, but they have like the Panera line, and they have the little like to go like soups, and you could do the chicken noodles. So I had one of the chicken noodle soups tonight for dinner.
Okay. Yeah, their drop off car pickup is so clutch.
So nice. I did that
last week. Yeah, I had that last week.
See? That's what I never like, you don't have to set foot in a store. They either come to you, deliver it, like that's all you have to do.
Or you just go and pick it up. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you just go and pick it up and they bring it to you. But I like chicken noodle soup. Not all brands and not all kinds, but I think Panera's is pretty good. And it's like a good size. Like it's like filling and like you're good for the night,
For sure. All right, Nikki, let's wrap it up. All right, congratulations to the teams that won, and better luck next year to the losers.
We're sitting in the basement. We are just in the basement.
Welcome to the suck. Cancun on 3. 1, 2, 3, Cancun. All right, all jokes aside.
All jokes aside, we are happy that TikTok is back. Danny doesn't have to listen to me complain.
Nikki was having a meltdown and turned into a person. I was like, all right, you're scaring me a bit.
No,
but
I wasn't turning into that.
I'm being funny, Nick. I'm being funny.
I don't like to be told what to do.
Stop being defended. Stop being offended.
No, I am, because you don't understand. Like, I know you're joking. No, you don't get it. Like, I know you're joking, but everybody else does not know that you're joking. Like, people really need to understand that, like, our friendship is based on just roasting each other. And if you guys like saw the shit that we say, it's like mean, but like that's just like how we are. So I just need everyone to know that Danny most of the time is joking, but
99% of the time I'm joking.
Yeah, I don't like being told what to do, and like I didn't think that they should have like shut it down, like.
Of course.
But hey.
I wasn't making it a political joke. I'm just saying.
I posted all political jokes today. I have a whole new set of followers that think I am affiliated with something now, just because it's not my fault Trump saved it. If it was Biden, I would have been happy it was Biden. But
right. It didn't matter. You're an equal opportunist. Catch strays. Anyway, we do not want to be on an FBI list. I was joking about tweeting and joking on Instagram, not actual strays. Anyway, this is the New York Sports Show about literally anything and everything, literally nothing and everything at the same time. I'm Danny. That's Nikki. Until next Sunday night, have a good night, guys. Please.
Where can everybody find us?
Find us at TNL_NYG on socials, and then spell out Thunder and Lightning _NY Sports. Until next week, I will catch you guys later.
Bye.